70 years.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day. Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.
What? Mike Scott Plumbing does irrigation too?
Yeah. I told you they have packages where they take care of everything.
Yeah, but I broke it, so they're not going to cover that.
But with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, the Monday after the U.S. Open, we'll talk with Galen tomorrow about the U.S. Open. Get his thoughts, and see where the predictions end up. My guy ended up on the front page. His guy ended up missing the cut. And my other guy, who I said don't sleep on, ended up finishing second. I don't know how you could sleep on the number one ranked player in the world, but a lot of people were. And all he did was come out and have a great round Sunday. But the two takeaways I got from this were that a very exclusive list was joined. And when I mean exclusive, only one woman and one man were on the list. And they are two very accomplished pro golfers. Well, now there's a third person in that group. And you have to feel for Will Zalatoris. If you saw that putt on 18 he made, it was an inch, half an inch from going in the hole. If that happens, he's in a playoff for the second major in a row because he lost in a playoff a month ago to Justin Thomas in the PGA Championship. Then he misses this putt on the 18th. And I mean, when I say he missed it, I don't know how. It just was going by the hole and went, not today. It looked like it was in the whole way until it wasn't. So Zalatoris has to settle for second with Scotty Scheffler, the number one blank player in the world. And, the first time you get in the playoff and you lose, you can learn from that. Second time it bites a little more. And I'm talking about because of the up and downs of that final round, your ultimate champion played very well. Jack Nicklaus says maybe the best round of golf he's ever seen. It's pretty high praise from the Golden Bear, saying it may be the best round of golf he's ever seen. But the difference between a playoff and him winning was less than an inch. And if you watch that back nine, the way people went, they traded. Once everybody got to 6 under, it was very hard to go pay. Nobody got to 7 under. It was a good challenge. The course won. On Saturday, 23 people started under par. By the end of Saturday, 9 people were under par. Yesterday, it was about hanging on. It was a typical U.S. Open. Made me feel good because I got to see people who are much, 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 much better than me at golf hit shots that looked like it was me out there playing. But it all ended with your winner, the Englishman, Matt Fitzpatrick. He wins by 1 stroke over Scotty Scheffler and Will Zalatoris. Your reigning champion, John Rahm, fizzled down the backside. He had a look at it there for a minute, but he fizzled going down the backside. And left Matt Fitzpatrick with the win. And led him to join a very exclusive club. Only 2 golfers in the history of professional golf have won the U.S. Amateur, put on by the USGA, and the U.S. Open, men's or women's, put on by the USGA, on the same golf courses. Julie Inkster did it. She won the U.S. Amateur, and then 21 years later won the U.S. Open. I forget the exact name of the club she did it at, but she did it at the same club. Jack Nicklaus won the U.S. Amateur and then the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. And now Matt Fitzpatrick has won the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Open at the Country Club at Brookline, Massachusetts. Very exclusive club. Only one other man was in this club. 2 people total. Julie Inkster, who is a Hall of Fame female golfer, and Jack Nicklaus, who is a Hall of Fame male golfer. But only three people now have ever done that. And I know a lot has to line up to make sure you can do it and everything, but still, Brookline held up its end of the bargain. I think it showed itself well as a fantastic venue for the U.S. Open. I think it held up to everything it was supposed to. They talked about how Brookline was an older course and, they didn't know if the new technology was going to hold up, the course would hold up. Held up well. Brookline is, and I love the stories they did, how they took you to the house just across the street where Francis Williamette grew up, and he was a caddy. We all know the story. He was a caddy at Brookline at the Country Club, and then he entered the 1913 U.S. Open, beat the English strongholds. Harry Vardon went down in the playoff. Francis Williamette won, and that basically kick-started the game of golf in the United States. Francis Williamette could be, everybody talks about Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones was a great ambassador to the game. Francis Williamette was the equivalent to old Tom Morris in the United States. Francis Williamette, when he won the U.S. Open in 1913, that turned the game of golf into something. It jumped, literally, participation in the U.S. jumped 800% in the next 5 years. I know all this because I watched all the little vignettes NBC did throughout the U.S. Open. And Jimmy Roberts does such a great job of those vignettes, by the way. But they paid homage to Francis Williamette every day, pretty much. It was a really well done, and I'm glad NBC's got it back because Fox failed miserably at it. The fact that the weather was, the chill was there as the cold front moved out of Canada, so it killed the ball flight. They were all in sweaters. Here it is, June, they're in sweaters. Brookline just offered up everything you want for a U.S. Open, and the guys didn't disappoint. It was riveting and fun to watch the whole time. We'll talk with Galen Unal tomorrow about what he thought about it, but It was really good golf over the weekend. If you like the U.S. Open, which I do, and I think the U.S. Open, I don't think it was unfair this year. I just think it was challenging. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get hour number 2 underway. Hey, at 9:30 this morning, Sue Mosley, a political pundit, she will be in the building. The deadline is coming past. We'll talk about who qualified, who didn't, things like that about the elections coming up. We'll do that in the 9:30 hour on Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. You're listening to WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Radio News with Lance Pry.
Senators in both parties, briefed recently by senior Biden administration officials on negotiations with Iran, say they doubt Tehran will agree to any new deal to limit its development of nuclear weapons. A 15-year-old boy was reportedly killed at a Juneteenth celebration in Washington, D.C. overnight, while a police officer and 2 other adults were injured. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti says a fight caused the event to be shut down at the Mochella Music Festival, and that's when it turned into chaos.
So once the officers shut the event down, there were several MPD resources as well as public safety resources from DC Fire and EMS that were also on the scene trying to clear out the area because there were several people who were injured as a result of their leg or ankles being trampled as they tried to run from the area.
USA Radio News.
Attention weekend gardeners, don't let insect pests destroy your hard work. Fight back with Maggie's Farm, created by pest control professionals.